Hi everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to do my big Tweety design. Since I did the small Tweety and many requested I do the big one, today I'll be showing you how to do this. Now this is my third time trying to upload this video. I apologize. It just only uploads half of it, so I'm going to try again and I'm going to have to go a little bit faster. To let you know, I will be using these exact colors, and there are approximately 77 orange bands, approximately about 170 yellow bands, 6 black bands, and I'll be using ocean blue jelly for the eyes today. There's about 4, and the white there's 8 bands. I'm going to use one loom, and then we are going to need to attach 2 looms together, and I will show you how to do that. The 2 looms will be just for his face. So getting started, I'm going to show you how to do one arm, and you're going to pause the video and make yourself another one. I'm going to use double bands yellow for the arms, and I'm going to go down 6 times. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now taking a single band, we're going to cap the end 3 times, so 2 and 3. We're going to loop straight up, 2 all the way to the top, and remove off the loom. Now place this to the side and make yourself another one. Now I'm going to show you how to do the foot piece, just as foot. I'm going to show you how to do one, and you're going to pause the video and make yourself another one. So what we're going to do is, switching to our orange bands, double bands, we're going to go down the loom 4 times on either side. So that's 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to go down the middle, but we're going to start at the second peg going down. So just like that. And we're going to go down 4 times. So it's 2, 3, and 4. We are going to close it off using double bands from the center up to the right. Taking a single band, we're going to cap the end 3 times. Now, taking a single band, we need to put holding bands, and we are going to take a single and double it. And we're going to put a triangle that's going to the side. I'm just going to fix here because I am on top of my other bands. And now we're going to do this again with another single, double it, and putting a triangle. We are overlapping the first triangle. Doing this again, a single, and doubling it to go and make another triangle. So you should have 3 triangles. Now it's just a matter of looping straight up. We are going to bring the middle to the top right when we get there. But first I'm going to reach in where my cap band is and loop to the right. Now just loop straight up on the right to the top, and now looping up the middle. When you finish at the top in the middle, you're going to lift these bands up and you're going to bring them to the right. We are now going to slide these on double bands. So taking 2 double bands, we're going to reach in, grab them. We're not going to do a slip knot. We're just going to catch both ends. Removing off the loom, I'm using my fingers, not my hook, and this is what you should have. So please pause the video and make yourself another one. Now I'm going to show you how to do the body. So I'll be using my yellow color, and I'm going to start with making a neck. I'm going to use 3 bands. So going down in the middle once, and now switching to double bands, we're going to go from the middle to the right, down, and our middle to the left. Now we're going to go down either side using double bands 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going down on the left now 6 times as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to be going down the middle, and we are going to go down past these pegs. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're going to go down 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I'm going to show you how to make the tail. So we're going to use the bottom portion of our loom. I'm going to start with a single band and I'm going to make a triangle. So just the peg below. I am going to use double bands and I'm going to go down twice on either side. So going down twice on the right, 1 and 2, and now on the left, 1 and 2. Now what I'm going to do is take double bands and I'm going to go down the middle twice, 1 and 2. This idea is based off and inspired by DIY Mommy's pig charm ears. I really do like this technique. If you watched my other videos, it's just brilliant. So I thank her very much for allowing me to use it. Now switching to double bands, we're going to make a diamond shape at the bottom. So starting with a triangle, and then just bring your bands over to the peg below. You're going to take a single band and we're going to make it a holding band. So we're going to make a triangle just in the center. Taking a single band, we're going to cap the end 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now we are ready to loop up. So what we're going to do is reach in, move your cap bands out of the way. You're going to grab a single band, one of the bands only, and loop to your left. Reach in, grabbing that other single, and loop to your right. Now I'm going to reach in and loop up on my right. So just reach in, grab your bands, and now when you get to the top of the right, you're going to grab that single and loop it to the center. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the left, reaching in, loop up 1 and 2, and grabbing that single and loop to the center. Now loop up the middle, and remove off the loom. There's your tail. We're going to take our tail and we're going to place it right in the center here and push down. Now you want to take your arms and we're going to place them on the top of the left and the right. So putting on my left and now putting on my right. Now I'm going to push all my bands down and we're going to put holding bands. So taking a single, I'm going to start below my arms and making triangles. Just going down. Now stop here for 1 second because I forgot to close off the bottom of the body. So using double bands, we're going to take 2 bands and go from the left down to the center on top of the tail. And the center to the right. So now it's closed off. My apologies. Now taking a single band, you want to make a holding band in a triangle. Now push your bands down again. I'm going to show you now to put the extension pieces on the belly. I didn't try to make him wider, I tried to make him thicker so it wasn't so flimsy. This technique was made by PG Lumacy, and I thank him for letting me use this technique as well. So, double bands, I'm going to use my area down below. I am going to go down 3 times. We're going to go down twice. Forgive me, twice. Double bands. 1 and 2. Now we're going to use 2 capping bands, 1 at a time. And we're going to cap the end twice only. So just wrap it around your hook, your peg twice. 1 and 2. Taking another single, you're going to do that again, just twice. 1 and 2. Now we're ready to loop up, so reaching in and loop forward. You're going to remove it off the loom, and we are going to place the end capping bands around the end on the right. You're going to skip the peg above and you're going to give it a stretch to the second peg above. And you're going to open up your teardrop and place it on the peg. We're going to do this again for the left side. So taking double bands, go down twice. Now you're going to take a single band and cap it twice, 1 and 2. Another single, 1 and 2. You're going to reach in and loop forward. And remove off the loom. Stretch open your cap bands, making sure you got all of them, and place it on your left at the bottom. Now you're going to skip the peg above and stretch it to the second peg. You're going to open up the teardrop and put your peg through. We're going to do the same thing for the middle, except we're going to use one cap band. So going down the loom twice, 1 and 2, and a single band wrap twice, 1 and 2. Reaching in and loop forward. Remove off the loom, stretching your cap band and put it above the tail. You're going to skip the peg above and stretch it to the second peg above. And we are going to open up the teardrop and put it on your loom. Now what we're going to do is, taking double yellow bands, we're going to go down once on the right and once on the left. So you might want to just push your bands down on either side and go down once on the right and once on the left. We are going to switch to orange color bands now, and we're going to use double bands and go down the loom all the way to the end. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. On the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's get our feet, and I'm just going to take them off my hook to show you that one is going to be in the opposite direction. So you want to take your feet, put them side by side, and try to determine a left foot and a right foot. So all you have to do is, one should be upside down, just basically turn them right side up. And how to tell is it will be like a bump. So putting them flat, I'm going to put them on my loom now. So going from the top and catching the bottom, and I'm going to put one on the right. I'm going to do that with the other one and put it on my left. Now we are going to loop up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to loop on my left first, and what I want to do is just loop up the orange. So reaching in, I just realized we're going to have to put a capping band above the tail, so I'm sorry. So we're going to stop at the orange and reaching in on the right and loop up the orange. So if you could kindly stop for 1 second, and taking an orange yellow band, we're going to cap above the tail 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now what I'm going to do is loop up the yellow bands that are on the leg area on both sides just once. And now I'm going to reach in the middle and I'm going to find these bands that are on the top. We are going to loop this band and make a teardrop to the right. So you're going to have to move your cap band out of the way, your extension piece out of the way, and reach in and grab your 2 bands that are on top. I grabbed one that's going to the left and one that's going to the right. So you might have them twisted, just as I do, because there are a lot of bands that are in that center. So I'm just going to reach in and find another band that's going to my right, and I want to find the last band that I just looped to my left. Now what I'm going to do is loop up my right, and I'm going to loop to the center. You might want to move your bands around where your extension pieces are because you're going to have some tension and you don't want to break your bands. So just loop forward, and just for precaution, I'm going to do that again. Just loosening it up. I only grabbed one. You're just reaching for your bottom bands. And we're going to loop to the center neck. Moving my arm out of the way and loop to the center. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the left, so just loosen up some tension, grabbing my bottom bands, loop forward, loosen it up again, and again we're just grabbing the bottom bands. And to the center. Now we want to loop up the middle. So I'm going to reach in where the tail is, moving all these bands out of the way and making sure that I'm only grabbing my bottom two. Now you're finding the middle bands that are going to the center, and you're just looping all the way to the top. You're going to reach in and loop up your neck, but I am just going to loosen this up just a little bit and loop up the neck. Now I only grabbed two bands, so I'm just going to grab the last, and now he's ready to come off. So I am just going to remove, and using my hook, reaching in, and now here's the body. You can place them to the side, use toothpicks, or if you have an extra hook. Now we're going to take our two looms apart. I'm going to use the top part of my hook and turn it around, and I'm going to show you how to put the two looms together. Now I'm not brilliant in any ways by putting this together, but I'm going to show you what worked for me. So just reach in and remove your blue pieces off. Now one of these pegs we don't need, so I'm going to put to the side because we only need 5. Now when you place your pegs back on, and we're going to stick together, please make sure that all your arrows are facing down. You don't want to have one going the wrong way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these at the end of here, but I'm going to count the 4th down and place it at the top of the blue part and push down. I'm going to take a second one and I'm going to do the same thing so it's straight. I'm going to take one more, making sure your arrows are down. I'm going to put it a peg below. So this peg on the end is in the center of this peg. So you can see it's not even with the first nor even with the second. Now taking one of your small pieces, I am going to attach it to the second one and my right one, so the middle and the right. And I'm going to place it down just at the top, so it's not attached to my first. Now what I'm going to do is taking another blue one, I'm going to attach one of these pegs right at the end, with the arrows facing down, so it's right at the bottom. Taking another one, we are going to put it just a peg above. So this is the bottom of your loom, and you can see that my arrow is at the top. So I'm just working at the bottom. Now taking the peg from this side of your other loom, I am just going to attach it I'm just going to attach this one and here. so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so now what I actually want to do is we need to move this peg up one. So, I'm sorry, we need to have 3 of our pegs even, and these 2 pegs need to be even. So we're just going to lift this one up. Again, not brilliant at this. I'm just putting it, showing you what I did. So if you're looking at the top of your loom, it should look like this. 3 even, 2 down, just 1. And we're going to push down. Taking another one, we just want to hold our 2 ends together. I'm going to take another one, and I'm just going to put it at the end here. And you can take another one and just put it at the end on your left side. Now if you can do this a better way, go ahead and you can pause the video. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the face, and I'm going to use our yellow bands. We're going to use double. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to go sideways. I'm going to do this again, just right beside, going towards the right. Now I'm going to go down from the second peg down to the right and on the left side. Now what we're going to do is going down on the right 6 times using double bands, and then we're going to do that on the left. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On the left, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to go down once from the right towards the middle, just down one of the pegs. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the left side. So from the left down to 1 peg in the middle, towards the middle. Now what I want to do is taking double bands, we're going to go and close it off. So from the right to the center and the left to the center. Now if you're looking at your right, I'm going to go over one of my rows, and I'm going to go down twice using double yellow. 1 and 2. Now what I want to do is go down on we're going to skip 1 and we're going to go towards the left. So 1, 2, 3 in your 4th row. We're going to go down twice. 1 and 2. We're going to switch to our white bands now. This is where you need about 8 bands. And double. We're going to go on our 2nd row from the right. We're going to go down twice. 1 and 2. We're going to do that on our 4th row from the right. So we're going to go down 1 and 2. You can pause the video to make sure that yours looks just like this. So what we're going to do now is using double bands, I'm going to go on my 2nd row and from the right, and I'm going to complete it. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go to my 2nd last row where we placed the white bands, and I'm going to complete it right to the end. 1 and 2, and 1 more. 3. Now I want to go down the center all the way and finish it and complete it. Double bands. 1, 2. I lost it. 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and to the end. Now we're going to add holding bands. The holding bands are going to be placed a little bit funny, so you might just want to push your bands down. And I'm going to go and put holding bands on our second row here at the top. I am just going to catch 3 of the pegs. I'm going to do that again to the other side. So it went from here to here, and we overlapped the center peg and we went down. We're going to do this again to the right, again, and again. And now we're going to skip this area, and I'm going to start at this peg. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On our 6th peg, I'm going to stretch it from my left to my right. Now we're going to place one more set of holding bands and just a single, and we're just going to catch the 3 pegs. And we're going to do this on the right, so going from the center to the right. And now we're going to put face extensions on the side just to make his face a little bit wider. I'm going to use the bottom portion of my loom, and I'm going to use double bands, and we're going to go down 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to use a single band, and I'm going to cap the end twice. So just go around twice. 1, 2. Again with another single. So push down, 1 and 2. Now taking your hook, you're just going to loop up. So reaching in, holding your cap bands down, and just loop straight up. Those cap bands we are going to place at the bottom of our right side. So remove off the loom, give your cap bands a little pull, and slide on to your right at the bottom. Now you are going to skip the first peg above, and you're going to stretch it to the second peg above. We're going to do this again for the left side, so taking double bands, and we're going to go down 3 times on the right. 1, 2, and 3. A single band, cap it twice. 1, 2. Another one, you might want to push down, 1 and 2. Loop forward. Remove off the loom. Your cap bands, getting all the loops, we're going to slide down on the left side at the bottom, and the other end we're going to skip the peg above and go to the second peg above. Making sure that both our extensions are to the side. Now, the extensions on your side on the right, what I'm going to do is just give it a little stretch for a second. And we have 2 teardrops, 1 and 2. We're going to grab a single band from each teardrop, and we're going to loop it around the peg. Now it doesn't matter which one it is, just make sure that it's the bottom one. We are going to do this on the left side, so reach in and grab the bottom, just a single band of the bottom of the teardrop. So that's 1 from one side and 2. So there's 1 single from each teardrop on the same peg. Now what we're going to do is do the beak. So I'm going to make the bottom beak, and what I'm going to do is take 3 yellow bands. I'm going to use the bottom of my loom. We just need 2 sections, and I'm going to go down once with 3 bands. Now taking your orange bands, we're going to take 4. Bigger Tweety, bigger beak. And a single band we're going to wrap around 4 times as a cap band. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, we're just going to do that 3 times. And we're going to do another one 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Now if you want to take your hook and just turn it around, not so much for tension, but it straightens out the beak. It straightens out these bands that will be wrapped around in the front of his mouth. So reach in and grabbing the 4 bands and loop forward. Looping the yellow, and we're going to remove off the loom. So now we're going to take 3 of these loops and put it to one side, and the other 3 we're going to put on the other side where there's no holding bands. So if I count down on the right, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your 6th peg going down on either side. So I'm going to remove one end and attach it on one end and the other on the other end, making sure you grab everything. Now just bring it below the peg. We're going to do the top of the mouth, so taking 3 yellow, go down the loom once. Now you're going to switch to your orange color. What we're going to do is take a single band and we're going to wrap it around our hook 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to take another one, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to take 4 bands of our orange and we're going to put these bands on top of the 4 bands. So support with your finger and pinch and slide on top. We're going to attach this to the loom right below the yellow, attached to the yellow, and give it a push down. You're going to take 2 single bands, one at a time, wrap 3 times as a cap band. 1, 2, and 3. Push down. Again, single, 1, 2, and 3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 more bands and wrap them around our hook 3 times. So one at a time. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. We are going to slide them on top of here when we're looping. So what we're going to do is just stretch the cap bands away and grabbing the bottom bands. Before looping, we need to slide these bands on top and go forward. Looping the yellow up, removing off the loom, and we're going to put this on our loom on top of the bottom of the beak. So removing one end, making sure you have all 3, and we're going to place on top. So they're both below the peg. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put eyelashes. So we need our black bands. So taking your black bands, I'm going to use double. So what I'm going to do is, where your white bands are, we want to attach them to the holding band above the white band. So this is your first holding band on the right at the top. You're going to open it up, you put your hook through the center, and you're going to grab both ends of the black, bringing 2 ends onto your hook. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do a slip knot, and you're going to hold the bottom with your fingers, squeeze it, so you're squeezing the knot and pull the bands. If your bands are curling forward, just give it a little turn with your fingers and they will go towards the top. I'm just going to make that knot a little bit tighter by squeezing it again. I'm going to do that on the other side. So grabbing both black bands, I'm going to put my hook through that holding band, our first holding band at the top on the left, and grab 2 ends of the black, and we're going to do a slip knot around that holding band. So grabbing both ends and hold where your knot's going to be made and give it a tug. Little bit of a turn with my fingers so they're curling up. Now my holding band is turning a little bit. So I am just going to fix this a bit. So just taking it off, fixing it, and it's not twisted, my holding band. Now what I'm going to do is push my bands down, and we're going to attach our body. So you want to grab your body, and I'm going to place him on the middle peg at the bottom. So stretch his neck a little bit and slide him on. And we're ready to loop up. So I'm going to reach in and I'm going to grab my top 2 bands, which are going to the center. Reaching back in, grabbing my next two, and they're going to the left. Reach back in and grabbing the next two, and they're going to the right. Now on my right side, I'm going to reach in, grabbing my top two, and they're going up one to the center, to the up. And now reaching in, grabbing my next two, and go to the right. I'm going to go to my second last peg towards the left, and I'm going to reach in and grab my top two bands, and they're going up one peg. Reach back in, grabbing my bottom two, and they're going to the left. Now what I want to do is loop up on my right. I'm going to loop to the top. So reach in on the right. If you have tension, loosen it up, and you're just grabbing the bottom two bands. So reach in and loop up. Reach in and loop up. Reach in, and I'm just going to loosen it up. Do not grab your holding band, just the bottom two. And when you get to the top, you want to reach in and grab those last two bands, and we're going to loop to the second top peg. Now I'm going to loop on my left, so I'm going to reach in, loosen it up, grab my bottom two, and loop to the top, just as we did on the right, moving your holding band out of the way and loop up. And bring it to our center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loop up our second row, and when we get to our first set of white, this is where we're going to place the eyes. So grabbing two of your eye color, I'm using my blue jelly, and I'm going to wrap it around my hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to do this again with another. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to reach in, and again, when we get here, this is where we're going to slide on. So reaching in, I've reached the white, so I'm just going to pick it up and slide my eye color on. And loop forward. When you get to the eyelashes, I'm just going to give my yellow bands a stretch so my eyelashes are through. Reach in and loop to the center, to the top. When you get to that top band, you want to reach in and grab the bottom two, and they loop to the center. Now on my second last peg towards the left, I'm going to do the same thing where your white bands are. Slide my blue bands on. So go grab 2 more of your eye color, wrap each one around your hook 4 times, 2, 3, and 4, another 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to reach in, reach in. We're at the white, so pick up and slide your eye color on. And loop forward. Now when you're at the yellow, I'm just going to stretch it open so I can go over the eyelashes. Loop to the top. Once you get to the top, reach in, grabbing the top 2 bands and loop to the center. Now what's left to loop is the center. So what I'm going to do right now is taking these beaks, I'm going to move them to the peg above. I don't want to loop on top of them. So this way we're looping underneath. So reach in and loop up once, lifting your beaks up and bring them back below that peg. Now reach in and grabbing your bands, we're going to loop to the top. I'm going to take a single band and I'm going to do a slip knot in the top center. So I'm going to reach in, grabbing one end, putting both ends on my hook, grabbing one and slipping over, or sliding it over, and give it a little tug. This is where I'm going to use 2 black bands, and I'm going to do a slip knot with each of these bands one at a time. So reaching in, grabbing a single black, and doing a slip knot. Again. Now he's ready to come off the loom. And we can just fix him up a bit. I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors. So the yellow slip knot that you have at the top, I'm just going to take that and hide that now. So bringing it towards the back, reaching in, just through the center of the head, and bring to the other side. Now the top pieces of the black that we did the slip knot, I'm just going to cut them 1/4 of the way down from the top. And now I'm going to fix the beak a little bit, squish it together, and you can just play around with the loops so they're nice and neat. And for the tail, I'm just going to bring towards the back. The legs are pretty much, you don't need to fix them. I'm just going to bring that cap band to the center. And now for the eyelashes. I'm going to reach in towards the back, and I'm going to bring those eyelashes to the back. So just grabbing both ends and just bring them towards the back. And the other side. Now what I want to do is I want to bring the eyelashes through this yellow band here. So I'm actually going to just put my hook right through the center of the white and grab both ends of the bands and bring it through. And the same thing on the left side, just putting my hook through the center of the white part of the eye and bring both ends through. Now if the knot is in the front, you just want to kind of push that towards the back. I'm just going to squeeze the face a little bit tighter, pull out the cheeks a little bit, and fix the arms. Now for the eyelashes, I'm going to cut them. I don't want them too long and I don't want them too short. And he's done. I hope you enjoyed Looming with Cheryl. I apologize if the video is a little bit fast as I had trouble uploading to YouTube. Please subscribe down below and I will see you next time with another. Bye for now.